This is Terrio Media.
You don't have a money problem, you have an idea problem. This is Turnkey Real Estate Investing, the show for busy people who want to invest in real estate but don't have the time or desire to take on the heavy lifting. And here's your cash flow savvy host, Matt Terrio.
Hello, and welcome to Turnkey Real Estate Investing. This is real estate investing for busy people just like you. So if this is your first time here, really glad you found us, glad you made it. Make yourself at home. And if this is not your first time here, welcome back. Now today we're going to talk about passive income. That's what most of us congregate here for each and every week. But there's something about passive income, the elusive passive income, I call it. I mean, it sounds fantastic. I mean, when you put the word passive and you put the word income, you put those two things together, I mean, who doesn't want that, right? You know, it's money that arrives in your mailbox or in your bank account each and every month without you having to lift a single finger, right? So where do I sign up for that? How do we make that happen? Well, I'm going to maybe burst some bubbles out there. I'm not actually sure if there's any such thing as totally passive income, whether that be, you know, an automated business. That sounds good right there, right? An automated business, like an online membership website or an e-commerce store, something that you set up through Amazon.com or eBay and or some sort of drop ship online business that just kind of, you set it up and forget it. That would be great. Or an offline, like automated, like a car wash, like one of those automated coin-op car washes, or an automated laundromat. Or maybe like seller-financed notes. You buy a property and then you resell it with seller financing, so you just collect the payments. That sounds really passive, right? Or an income property. Those are all examples of passive income, but I'm not sure if any of them are really totally passive. And although there is less action required to keep the income flowing with these examples that I just gave you, they typically will take a significant amount of time and some effort and some action up front to actually set it up so it gets to that automated point, to it gets to that passive income point. And then there's going to be some regular involvement to maintain the income that those things will generate. So understand that passive income doesn't mean uninvolved income. Passive income does not mean uninvolved income. I mean, even if your financial planner has placed your money in places where, you know, you really don't have to do anything in order to receive your passive income, it would certainly behoove you to check in on it regularly. I mean, nothing can go unattended and last forever. Nothing is 100% passive. And the other aspect of that with your financial planner putting stuff in place, one is probably going to be a very low return if it is a very strong, predictable type of passive income. I mean, I would guess in today's market, I mean, you'd be lucky to get 3-4%. Maybe you get some sort of fluctuation there with dividends and you get up to 5 and 6% every now and then. But not much more than that. And then the other side of that is you don't have any control over it either. I mean, that can all go away tomorrow. We have like a Lehman Brothers. That's a family company or a household name for more than 100 years. And boom, one crisis and it's gone. So just even if it is 100% passive, be really concerned about the control that you have or don't have with that investment. Just nothing can go unattended and last forever. That's what I'm trying to say. So with all that said, there are some things you can do to increase the passivity of your rental income. And what there is to do can all really be lumped into one category of focus, and that's managing property managers. People would love to tell you it's the ideal passive income market. It's the ideal cash flowing market. It's the ideal, you got to get just the right tenant, or you got to get the right property in the right location. You got to be next to colleges. Like, you get all this great advice about the real estate, and all of it has its place, and all of it is true to an extent. And some of it's very much true. But when it comes to actually creating passive income, it's all about property management. And that's whether you do it or whether somebody else does it for you. Now, if you're doing it, all of a sudden it's not very passive at all. But if you have a property manager do it for you, now all you really have to do is manage the property manager. I mean, they can manage your property and you manage them. Much less work than managing the properties themselves, but work nonetheless. So here are 5 quick, simple tips to put passive, to put more passive into your passive real estate income. All right. So number one, check in with your property managers regularly. Check in with them regularly. And I personally like to err on the side of micromanaging. That has a little bit of a negative connotation in our society. Micromanaging, at least to the person that's being micromanaged, they feel a little bit, maybe patronized or insulted or not trusted, or just bothered. But I want my property managers to know that I'm watching. I'm there. I'm watching. The eyes are on you. And I like to communicate with my property managers, even when things are going good. I think that's really important. And extend to them appropriate compliments as well. Because most of the time, property managers, it's a very thankless job. And they really only hear from their clients when things are going bad. So it's so much of a people business. It's so much about relationships. And so I like to call them even when things are going good as well. So that's number one. Check in with your property managers and check in with them regularly. Number two, keep good books. Document everything. An owner, a property manager, that owner-property manager relationship, it can go south really quickly with miscommunication or with, just really when unmet expectations can get dwindled down to a game of he said, she said. But you said this, and no, I said this, or they said that. So maintain your records. Hold your property managers accountable to the facts. And don't embellish, because that backfires on you too. And so just know the facts, hold them to it. And at the same time, accept responsibility when you yourself are wrong. And what I mean by that is mistakes happen. Misunderstandings happen on both sides of this relationship. So take responsibility when you realize, oops, my bad. But if it's their bad and you got the facts to prove it, hold them to it. Okay. But keep that relationship nice. This is another thing that having your facts straight does is it eliminates all that misunderstanding, and it keeps relationships nicer, keeps them more intact. And that's all really important for the big picture. So keep the big picture in mind with regard to that. Number three, track your leases. Know when they are expiring, okay? When the new one is signed, make sure you get a copy of it. Know exactly when it's expiring. And be proactive in re-signing the tenant when that one's about to expire, or be proactive in finding a new one if you know that tenant isn't staying. Be very proactive. Don't wait till the last minute. Don't wait till the last day. Go ahead and start that communication, or have your property manager start that communication, at least like 60 days out. Give them plenty of warning. Another trick, I guess, if you're an investor where they have weather, whether they actually have spring, summer, fall, and winter. Here in Southern California, we just have summer and summer. But where you got weather, write your leases to always expire during the spring and summer months, when it's easiest to find a new tenant. So in late fall, in the winter, early spring, maybe even, hold out for 18-month leases. Find tenants that are going to sign 18-month leases. This is going to reduce vacancies during those tough tenant months, okay? And that's how you can keep that passive income flowing so you don't have those vacancies. Number four, get pictures of your property and its grounds at least once a year. And have a third party run out there to do that real quick. If you got a friend or a family member that's in the area, have them go run out there and do that real quick as a favor. Or is it like a website like taskrabbit.com? You can find somebody to go out there and take some quick pictures and email those to you. Or I think another one is called GoSeeForMe.com. And they can do that, I think, $25, $50. Money very well spent to check in on the upkeep of your investment, okay? Because I'm telling you, those cash flowing checks can be flowing, and if everything feels good, you're not hearing about any maintenance issues, no tenant issues, property manager isn't coming, the checks are showing up like clockwork, but you still want to check in on the upkeep of your investment, all right? So that's number four. Number five, check the market rents. Stay up to date with what's going on in your rental market. I'd say one, maybe even 2 times a year, because here's why. If you're under the market rent, and just by adding an extra $50 to $100 when the next time that lease is renewed, just $50 to $100, that's it, a month, that can increase your ROI by 2 to 3 points per year. 2 to 3 points. So, if you got an investment on Wall Street and it's giving you 5%, what if you could turn that into 8%? Everybody all day long would do that instantly without a second thought. And that's what an extra $50 to $100 a month can do to your ROI, your internal rate of return. It can boost it up that much. Okay, that's just how the math works. Is that monthly rent, is that monthly net income specifically that can increase that ROI. And if you go from a 5% to an 8% or an 8% to an 11%, that really accelerates your growth. It has an impact. Okay, so if the market will bear it, you're going to want to raise the rents. Conversely, if the rents in your area have dropped or are dropping, consider dropping yours even before the lease is up. I mean, consider, I'm not saying do it, but consider it in order to maintain a satisfied tenant, not to give them any ideas. Well, hey, that nicer house across the street is $100 a month cheaper, right? Because if just an extra $100 a month can increase your ROI 2 to 3 points, imagine what a completely vacant property does that's not generating any rent does to your ROI. Yeah, it can have a big impact. Okay, so those are 5 tips that I can give you to put a little bit more passivity into your passive income, specifically your real estate passive income. So check in with your property managers regularly, keep really good books, document everything, track your leases, and make sure that your leases make every effort you can that those leases aren't expiring in the late fall and winter months. Get pictures of your property on a regular basis. Get pictures of the property and its grounds, its surroundings, at least once a year. And check the market rents 1 or 2 times a year. And stay on top of those. Because as with all businesses, relationships and knowing your numbers aren't important. The relationships and knowing your numbers are really important. They're critical even. So create and maintain a good relationship with your property manager. And like I said, it's a thankless job. They mostly only hear from their clients when things are going bad. So drop a little bit of sugar over there on them every now and then, and that can really go a long way. And stay on top of your numbers. Although it's primarily a passive investment, it's still your investment. So stay informed, inspect what you expect, inspect everything, and everything that the idea of passive income promises. Inspect what you expect, and everything that you got into this for in the first place, that's going to be fulfilled for you. And you can accomplish in the next 4 years what most people walking this planet are unable to do in 40 years. So if you're ready for your first or your next passive income investment, go to passiveincomeaudit.com to book a call with a cash flow savvy specialist. Passiveincomeaudit.com. There may be some questions you have or some concerns about what you heard today or what you've heard on a previous episode that didn't specifically address your situation. And if you'd like to get those answered, go ahead and book that call at passiveincomeaudit.com. It's totally free. There's no obligation. And, we'll go ahead and we'll point you in the right direction. If we can help you, we'd be happy to earn your business. If we can't help you, we can point you in a place that might suit you better as well. And that's exactly why we do this. We do this to provide amazing value up front, to give you a great experience, to make sure that you are better after you've talked to us than you were before you talked to us. And there's a strong potential that we could do business together. But even if we don't, we feel really good that you got what you needed and you're off on your way and you've got some clarity and you know exactly where you're headed and you feel good about the situation. That makes us feel good. When you feel good, we feel good. All right, so passiveincomeaudit.com. I'll see you next week on another episode of Turnkey Real Estate Investing, where cash flow is king.
If waiting for your investments to grow feels like waiting for paint to dry, there's a powerful secret your financial planner doesn't want you to know. You can accelerate your investments' growth by 2, 3, or even 4 times. That's bad news for Wall Street, but great news for you. We're cash flow savvy, and we'd like to offer you free information that will show you how to take control of your investments and double, triple, or even quadruple their returns. And it's yours for free. For the secret your financial planner doesn't want you to know, go to cashflowsavvy.com. That's cashflowsavvy.com.